Good day everyone, I'm Teacher Justin and let's talk about adding or subtracting rational expressions with different denominators. So, for our first item, we have 3 over y plus 2 all over 4. So, ang first step natin in order for us to add this to rational expression is for us to get the least common denominator. So, looking at our denominators, they don't have a common factor. So since they don't share a common factor, we will just multiply y and 4. So our least common denominator will be 4y. Then, since we multiply our denominator, pwede natin gamitin yung cross multiplication. So we will have 4 times 3, that will be 12. Then copy the operation addition, tapos y times y plus 2, that will be equal to y squared plus 2y. Then, let's add. Since walang similar terms, we will just copy y squared plus 2y plus 12 and write it in standard form na naka-arrange yung ating variable from highest degree to the lowest degree. So, y squared plus 2y plus 12 will be our numerator and our denominator will be 4y. And that will be our final answer. And that's it. Ta-da! Alright. So, let's have this item. We have x over 6 minus x minus 2 all over 2x. So, let's subtract this rational expression. So, first step natin is for us to get the least common denominator. So, we have 6 and 2x. So, ang least common denominator natin will be 6x. Then, let's get our new numerator. So, ang gagawin lang natin, divide natin si 6x by 6. That will give us x. Tapos, multiply natin yon sa ating numerator. So, x times x will be x squared. Then, let's copy the operation subtraction. Now, ulitin natin yung ginawa natin sa second fraction natin. 6x divided by 2x, that will be equal to 3. Then, we multiply 3 to our numerator. So, we have 3 times the quantity x minus 2. Now, let's apply the distributive property. So, we have x squared, kopyahin natin to, tapos distribute natin si negative 3. So, negative 3 times x, and negative 3 times negative 2. That will give us negative 3x plus 6. Now, let's just copy our denominator, 6x. Now, let's try to simplify them. So, since hindi na natin to masisimplify, this will be our final answer. And that's it. Ta-da! Alright. Okay, let's add this to rational expressions. We have 18 over 7x squared plus 12 over 5x. So, ang first step natin is for us to get the least common denominator. So, 7x squared, 5x. So, for the numbers, we can just multiply 7 and 5 to get the least common denominator, 35. Tapos, pag variable naman, we will just copy the variable and then get the highest exponent. So, yung highest exponent natin is 2. So, we have 35x squared as our least common denominator. Now, let's proceed to our next step by getting the equivalent value of our numerator. So, ang gagawin natin, 35x squared divided by 7x squared, that will be 5. Tapos, multiply natin sa 18. That will give us 90. Next, we copy the operation addition. Then, we will apply the same thing sa ating second rational expression. So, 35x squared divided by 5x, that will be 7x. Tapos, 7x times 12, that will be 84x. Now, let's perform addition. So, since they are not like terms, we cannot combine them, but we can simplify them. So, let's factor our numerator using common monomial factoring. Yeah. So, yung common factor nila is 2, and the other factor will be 42x plus 45. Now, yung denominator natin, which is 35x squared, wala namang common factor sa numerator and denominator. So, our final answer will be 2 times the quantity 42x plus 45 all over 35x squared. And that's it. Ta-da! Alright. Let's have this item. Let's add this two rational expression, 7 over x plus 2 and x minus 2 all over 5. So, ang gagawin natin is first, we get the least common denominator. So, ang least common denominator natin dito, knowing that they are both prime numbers or prime factors, we will have to multiply x plus 2 and 5. So our least common denominator will be 5 times x plus 2. Now, since we just multiply our denominator to get the least common denominator, our next step will be we can apply cross multiplication. So, multiply natin si 5 and 7, that will be 35. Si x plus 2 and x minus 2, that will be x plus 2 times x minus 2. Now, simplify natin si x plus 2 and x minus 2 by performing multiplication of polynomials. So, we will apply FOIL method for x plus 2 and x minus 2. That will give us 35 plus x squared minus 4 all over 5 times x plus 2. Now, let's perform combining like terms sa ating numerator. So, add natin si 35 at si negative 4. So, 35 plus negative 4, that will give us the value of our numerator, x squared plus 31. And our denominator will still be 5 times the quantity x plus 2. And since we cannot simplify this anymore, so our final answer will now be x squared plus 31 all over 5 times the quantity x plus 2. And that's it. Ta-da! Alright. Okay, let's subtract these two rational expressions. So we have x over x minus 4 and 4 over x minus 2. So, para ma-solve natin to, ang first step natin is to get the least common denominator. So, how do we get the least common denominator? So, looking at our denominator, x minus 4 and x minus 2, since wala silang common factor, ang gagawin lang natin is we can multiply them to get the least common denominator. So, we will just multiply x minus 4 and x minus 2, and that will be our least common denominator. And since ang ginawa natin is minultiply lang natin yung denominator to get the LCD, our next step will be cross multiplication. So, pwede natin gamitin yung butterfly method. So, we multiply the denominator to get the least common denominator. We can apply cross multiplication to get our new numerator. Okay? So, we have x minus 2 times x, that will be x times the quantity x minus 2. Then we copy the operation minus, then apply cross multiplication ulit, x minus 4 times 4. So that will be 4 times the quantity x minus 4. Now let's proceed to simplifying our numerator. So we can apply distributive property. So yung numerator natin magiging x squared minus 2x. Then let's distribute negative 4. That will be negative 4x plus 16. So, take note, kasama yung negative sign sa pag-distribute sa ating polynomial. So, we will now have x squared minus 2x minus 4x plus 16 for our numerator. Now, let's combine like terms. Pwede natin i-combine si negative 2x and negative 4x. That will give us x squared minus 6x plus 16 all over x minus 4, x minus 2. Now, since we cannot simplify this anymore, this will be our final answer. X squared minus 6x plus 16 all over the quantity x minus 4 times the quantity x minus 2. And that's it! Ta-da! Alright. Let's have our sixth item. Let's add or subtract the following rational expression, then simplify our answer. Okay, so let's add these two rational expressions. So we have x minus 5 all over x squared plus 5x plus 6 plus 5 over x plus 3. So ang first step natin is to factor our denominator. So kung pwede natin siyang i-factor, factor natin. So we can factor x squared plus 5x plus 6. That will give us x plus 2 and x plus 3. Tapos yung ating rational expression na 5 over x plus 3, hindi na natin siya pwedeng i-factor pa. Now, ang next step natin, since magkaiba sila ng denominator, we get the least common denominator. So, ang least common denominator natin will be x plus 2 times x plus 3. So, ito yung ating least common denominator. Tapos, after natin kunin yung least common denominator, let's get the equivalent numerator by dividing our LCD to our old denominator. So x plus 2, x plus 3 divided by x plus 2, x plus 3. That will give us 1. Then multiply natin sa numerator. So 1 times x minus 5. Let's repeat the same process to our second fraction. So we have x plus 2, x plus 3 divided by x plus 3. So the answer will be x plus 2. Multiply natin sa numerator. That will give us 5 times x plus 2. Then, let's copy the operation between them. It is addition. Okay. After natin gawin yon, we will be applying the distributive properties. Okay. So, let's apply the distributive property. Pero, kopyahin muna natin yung ating denominator. Tapos, 1 times the quantity x minus 5 will be x minus 5. Then, let's distribute 5. 5 times x, then 5 times 2. That will give us 5x plus 10. Then, let's combine like terms. We will have 6x plus 5 for our numerator, and our denominator is x plus 2, x plus 3 pa rin. Now, let's try to simplify if possible. So, since hindi na natin siya pwedeng i-simplify, this will be our final answer. So, it will be 6x plus 5 all over the quantity x plus 2 times the quantity x plus 3. And that's it. Ta-da! Alright. Okay, let's subtract this to rational expression. So, pag nagsusubtract tayo ng rational expression, okay, and iba yung denominator nila, ang first step natin is for us to factor our denominator. So, we have our numerator x minus 4. Sa denominator natin, yung factor ni x squared minus 3x minus 18, that is equal to x minus 6 and x plus 3. Now, kopyahin lang natin yung ating second rational expression. Now, ang susunod nating step is for us to get the least common denominator. So, we get the least common denominator. So, it will now be x minus 6, yung common factor nila, and yung other factor na x plus 3. So, that will be our least common denominator. Now, let's get the new equivalent value of our numerator. So, LCD divided by the old denominator, that will be 1. Tapos multiply natin sa numerator. That will be 1 times the quantity x minus 4. Then, copy the operation, minus. So, we have our LCD divided by x minus 6. That will be x plus 3. Then, multiply natin sa numerator. That will be 2 times x plus 3. Now, let's perform the distributive property. So, si 1, distribute natin. It will be x minus 4. Si negative 2, i-distribute natin. That will be negative 2x minus 6. Now, we just copy the denominator since pareho na sila ng denominator. Our next step, let's combine like terms. So, we combine x and negative 2x, negative 4, and negative 6. We will end up with negative x minus 10. Then, we still copy the denominator. And since hindi na natin siya masisimplify, then this will be our final answer. So, it will be negative x minus 10 all over the quantity x minus 6 times the quantity x plus 3. And that's it. Ta-da! Alright. Let's subtract this to rational expressions. So, pag nag-subtract tayo ng rational expressions with different denominators, ang gagawin natin is first, we need to get the factors of our denominators. So, we will have x minus 7 over x plus 6. So, hindi na natin ma-factor si x plus 6. Tapos, yung ating operation, we have 2x plus 5 all over. We factor x squared plus 8x plus 12. That will be x plus 6 and x plus 2. Now, after getting the factors of our denominator, ang susunod nating step is for us to get the least common denominator. We copy the common factor, x plus 6, and yung other factor na x plus 2. And this will be our LCD. Now, susunod natin gagawin is we will get the equivalent value of our numerator. So, we divide LCD by the old denominator. So, x plus 6, x plus 2 divided by x plus 6, that will be x plus 2. Then, we multiply to our numerator. Kaya magiging x plus 2 times the quantity x minus 7. Copy the operation minus. Then, let's repeat the same process. So, we have LCD divided by x plus 6, x plus 2. That will be equal to 1. Then, multiply natin sa numerator na 2x plus 5. So, ang next step natin is for us to perform multiplication using FOIL method. And ito naman, distributive property. So, let's apply the FOIL method. We will have x squared minus 5x minus 14. Tapos, distribute natin si negative 1 dun sa ating group, 2x plus 5. That will give us negative 2x minus 5. Tapos, we just copy the denominator. Then, let's combine like terms. So, we will have x squared minus 7x minus 19. So, that will be our numerator. Tapos, sa denominator natin, same pa rin. And let's see if we can still simplify this. And since we cannot simplify our numerator and denominator anymore, then this will be our final answer. So it will be x squared minus 7x minus 19 all over the quantity x plus 6 times the quantity x plus 2. And that's it. Ta-da! Alright. And that is it. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you have comments, questions, recommendations, suggestions for my next video, please leave them in our comment section below. Share this video and subscribe. And for more videos like this, you can go to my channel, Teacher Justin. And that is it for today. Again, I'm Teacher Justin. Goodbye, God bless, and stay safe. See you on my next video. Peace.